Okay, this is day 19, story number 17. I'm joined here by my friend Esau today. He might have a lot to say. He's a very talkative boy. I've been here in Montreal most of the week now, visiting Kirsten and helping with the kids and, playing faux nuclear family for a week. And I thought it high time to address that topic just a little bit more head on. Um, Sometimes people come to Michael and I and say, Toby, Michael, what's the deal with the girlfriends? What is the deal with the girlfriends? The term they loosely use is polyamory. I'm not a big fan of the term because it sounds like there's a very coded and set way that is different than what other people do. If you break down that word, it means loving many. Usually, some of my more conservative friends who have bigger issue with how I go about leading my life can't really wrap their head around how can you love more than one person at a time. Usually, they're the same ones with very large families, and the first thing I asked was, which one of your children do you love more? Now, I know that this is a completely separate thing because, from the outside, people think that polyamory is about sex, but from the inside, it's hardly that at all. In fact, when I meet couples, usually there's one of, when you tell people that you're in a multiple relationship, the women, first thing that they want to know about is the jealousy, and the first thing the men want to know about is the sex. So for the guys, what I have to say to you is there's not nearly as much as you think there is, and for the women, yes, there is jealousy, but not there any more than there is in a monogamous relationship. Um, I don't want to really, go all ethical slut on you and tell you about how it works and how it works and how this is and how these people are and how this other way works. This is my story, and it's the one that I'm telling. So it's about me and about how I do this. I met Michael 14 years ago. We've had a lovely relationship, and about 4 years in, we both realized that we both liked women and men and had our entire lives, and started experimenting with how we could make that more inclusive. Now, my feeling about polyamory is this: it's any relationship that I want to have and not get in trouble for it. It's sitting and having coffee with someone and not getting in trouble for it. It's walking down the street holding someone's hand and not getting in trouble for it. It's standing and making out a little bit on a street corner early in the morning and not getting in trouble for it. So then when I look at my life, it's like, what are the components of my life that I need to make me happy? There's, domestic companionship, there's work companionship, there's romantic companionship, there's caregiving, there's all of these different relationships that I feel I need to have in my life to make me feel complete and whole. And the question I ask myself is, do I look from that for one person? Does one person need to support all of that in my life? And I think, if you're looking at it as a nuclear family sort of thing, maybe. But if you're looking at it as a smaller community thing, it seems like there's a lot more possibility to keep a lot more people happy if we could work together as a small group. So that's what we do. We work together as a small group. We're a team. We're a family. We've all been together for 4 or 5 years now with multiple members in this extended family. Do we periodically fight? We periodically get upset, just like any other grouping of people, but this one just has a few more in that group. I love Kirsten and Deborah and Michael, and I can list another couple of other people that I feel are a part of my extended family. And it's not about sex, and it's not about conquest. It's about intimacy, it's about community, it's about friendship. When Michael and I got married a year ago, last November, we had been together for 13 years. So we planned a wedding that was in 13 acts, somewhat like cabaret. But what we did earlier in the day was we had our, you know, family meet our family for the first time. We had a small ceremony where 13 people, Michael and I excluded from that number, that were of both sides of our families and our respective families inside of families. Instead of speaking now or forever holding their peace on why we shouldn't get married, we went around the group and said why Michael and I should get married. And it was really an interesting and loving and an amazing family event. After that, we all came out of this small dome that we had built for this ceremony, and there were 13 of our friends standing waiting to greet us that would be the performers for the evening. It was a variety of acts. It was a lot of I Love You Mans, but it really was one of the more spectacular shows I've ever seen. Well, given there was all of my friends performing. We probably had 350 guests. It was an amazing party and an amazing time. And I think one of the things that was best from it is when people walked away from it, they saw what we were doing. They saw what we were doing openly, and they saw what we were doing for the first time as maybe not even being anything bad, and hopefully something very loving and very healthy. So I'm not the poster boy for polyamory. I'm not, selling it on the street, because I have causes and other things that interest me more, and I don't really need everyone mixed up in my business. But I wouldn't change my life for anything. So that's my story on polyamory. I think my little friend just came by to say it's time to pay attention to somebody else in the